If you've missed a bulk of the show, the podcast will be waiting for you. And now I'm hearing on Spotify, you can get some of it on video as well. Apple Podcasts and Spotify, of course. Twitter, X, Instagram, and Joel Fletch SEN as a way to catch up on the socials. Massive hour still to come. We've got Sats and the Rat standing by, but we have a segment-a-thon coming up, taking out the trash. We've got That's Ludicrous, Crap Stats, The Final Giggle, and keep your nominations coming through as well. This has absolutely flown out of the gates for this.
What?
And don't forget as well, yes, we are taking... Whilst we're taking nominations for Caller of the Day to win those tickets to the Golden Eagle, don't forget, if it's a rank call, you will be copping Never Ending Story. Scotty Sattler and Matty Rogers, all thanks to Bearshead, Australian sheds at the lowest prices. Gentlemen, how are you?
It's been a rough trot of late.
It's you.
That's just missile. That's just missile being missile.
Putting up with.
Oh, boys, how you going? I haven't spoken to you for such a long time.
Oh, I've been listening to you guys at Survey. You guys are up and about, aren't you?
You're back. You're back.
Good.
Up and about.
Now,
It's like a happy little family got back together.
Ratman. Has your opinion changed of one Edward Sayonara Jones?
Embargo.
Oh, not.
Go, or in American English, embargo. Stress on that second syllable.
Doesn't want to talk about it.
Embargo.
Can't talk about it. Can't talk about it. Why? All right.
Well,
Come
it's
on.
called a hook and tease in the biz.
A hooker and a tease. I like the sound of that. That sounds
It's like the
good.
glory hole in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Oh, that's not
ludicrous.
true. It's not true.
What?
It's been debunked.
Debunked.
Debunked. It was the old. It was when I was listening to that. It was going around WhatsApp. Sugar, you know about this?
No.
Oh. How do I explain this? It's pretty heckos. Girl was
On a hen's night.
on a hen's night.
weekend.
She went into one of those sex parties, and it was a glory hole. She decided just to go there, just to one last hurrah.
Oh, no.
And the what's doing came through the hole. She latched onto said what's doing, and then
Said what's doing.
so it was incognito. It was incognito.
Embargo.
But what happened was, apparently she then looked at it
Right.
to see who was on the other side, and it was her old man, it was her dad.
No.
It's an old urban myth.
It's been falsified.
Yeah, but it got around it. It's a bit like my
I'll tell you what isn't
Craig
false.
Wing and Hillary Duff rumour.
Speaking about getting it out,
Bit like boiled sausage.
But it's hey,
Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does.
boiled sausage. What are you up to, Rat up there?
Hey, I tell
Boiling
you,
sausage.
I'll tell you who's got the boiled sausage out. And
What?
did you see is it the Ting Sao?
Sing Tao, the beer.
Did you see that?
No.
You didn't see that?
No. What? Talk to us.
Like, I didn't see much news, but I saw this news where allegedly one of the workers, disgruntled employees, has jumped the fence at the top of where all the vats are and PI55'd into the vats.
In the Vatty Vorton.
Yeah. And, mate, the Tsingtao beer share price has absolutely plummeted because I think it was like the third most popular beer in the world, Tsingtao. Here he is. Look, what's the headline there, Brooks, man?
He's in because it's Chinese beer.
This is an A grade of the century, this bloke.
Restaurants and consumers in South Korea have quickly
Korea.
lost their taste for Tsingtao beer, according to media reports after a video that appeared to show a brewery worker urinating into a tank at one of the firm's plants in China went viral.
Sounds like Amy
So
doing the
Tsingtao,
news.
so the share price has plummeted.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Get on board.
Get on.
Yeah.
Get on.
On board.
It'll
It's
come
coming back.
Can we buy them? Can we buy Tsingtao shares? Or under
Oh,
some
you can buy any share.
subsidiary?
Find a way.
Any share you can buy.
What was
Rat.
Vegas like?
Yep.
Right, no. Sorry, Scott. I want to
Okay,
just get to
sorry.
the bottom of this debacle that's been the Wallabies. What's your opinion, Rat, on Eddie jumping ship?
Embargo.
No.
Embargo.
You can talk about it. You can't wax lyrically about him and then jump in a hole and hide.
No, we can't.
No,
On
no.
Sportsday tonight, we've got Jeremy Paul, former Wallaby, coming on to both he and Rat are going
We
to
can
dissect
discuss it,
this
break it down. No,
big
look,
weekend.
I'll give you this.
Give us this.
I'm filthy.
Yeah, good.
That's it.
You're filthy at who?
Embargo. Embargo.
Yep.
Or in American English.
So that was
embargo.
semi.
Disappointing, mate. Like, how could you not be where rugby is at the moment?
No, who are
Like-
you angry with? You're filthy at the ARU or Eddie or both or everyone?
Embargo.
Stop pushing the pass.
Yeah, it's always
Go.
only two,
Or
guys.
in American English,
You only ever do it twice.
Well, we thought you'd get the picture and stop asking the question.
But why can't our listeners down here have a
Well, they can. They can listen in to our show later.
Can't. Ali Langdon's on.
No. No. It's
Okay, you're
Yeah.
filthy. All right.
Yeah, I'm upset, but it's a bigger picture than just a coach. It's,
Okay.
It's an absolute train wreck.
Okay, without mentioning
Yeah,
embargo.
please stop that again.
Right. Who is his replacement? So Ian Foster
Who cares?
was within
Oh,
a bee's.
hang on.
Like honestly, mate,
don't care.
you may as well go coach him, Shug, because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who goes and coach him.
Fighting
The
to
state of
nothing.
the game's in at the moment. Like you wouldn't want the job.
No.
Like, you wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, like they're talking about Steve Larkham. Like, why would he go and put his coaching reputation on the line with the absolute rabble that is Rugby Australia at the moment?
It'd be hard to say no to, though, wouldn't it?
What? No, it wouldn't. He's getting paid to coach at the Brumbies.
You reckon he would decline it, Rat?
Mate, if I was his agent, I'd be telling him to decline it and just
Wow.
wait.
Yeah, well, that's not the worst
Wait
thing.
and just see what happens with the game itself. Because, mate, the pathways are awful. The level of rugby that's played in this country at a top level is not consistent enough to generate the players that we need to compete at the international level. And I've been saying this all year. But, you know, the reality of what Eddie tried to do was that he tried to shift things up and you know, make a change and maybe get a result. It didn't work, but the way that he's handled it has been ridiculous.
Brian, what
He's
did he
been-
want to eat?
He's been eating shit.
Sorry, I've gone too long. I've
No,
spoken too long.
That's right. He's been eating shit. He said you got to eat shit for a couple of years
Yeah,
before
but-
someone else can eat caviar.
Caviar, exactly.
But-
Well, it's a long process. I mean, they've only got, mate, I reckon, like rugby union's been hanging on by its fingernails
Yeah.
for the last 15 years, like by its fingernails, and that's all it's got left. Otherwise, it'll be complete. So that's just.
Embargo.
So,
Bar.
Mate,
okay.
you should see the looks I'm getting in this studio.
Okay, well, let's
No,
go.
what I'm saying is it?
What are you doing?
Mate, he's saying he's a boiled
Yeah,
sausage.
yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Bit like boiled
Hey,
sausage.
Fletchy.
Yeah, got me.
Hey, Fletchy. So I walked into the lounge room today, and my young bloke, he's up from Penrith at the moment, having a bit of a break, and he had the Best of the Footy show on. He's watching it on YouTube.
Old school.
Can you remember that time when Freddie went on and he broke into it like a horrendous sweat?
Oh, yes.
Can you remember that, Rat?
Yeah.
He broke into it. That came on. Did you ever get to the bottom of that at the Roosters? Why that
Yeah,
happened?
it was like an anxiety attack or something. I remember that.
Just
Yeah.
broke into a horrendous sweat. Yeah.
What year would have that been? I reckon that might have been about 2001.
No, it was way before
before
that.
that,
I reckon
yeah.
when he first went to the Roosters, like 90, 96. or
Oh,
something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he would have been Fat Westy Freddie then. Well, if that was the case, he probably just got home. Probably been on the
Yeah,
piss.
he probably hadn't been home.
No.
You figure heavily, Fletch. There's a lot of Brian
Am I?
in the Best of the Footy show. Yeah, you and Ian Rubin.
Big Rubes.
Oh, Big Rubes.
What's
now
Big Rubes doing nowadays, Fletch?
Okay, so Big Rubes lives in Kazakhstan.
Russia?
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, yeah. So he was living in Thailand. Huge Russian population. His wife's Russian, but his little girl got real bad eczema, and so the
Cooler weather.
cooler
Better
weather
for.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too humid for it, so that he lives over there. Just lives off his investments, but he occasionally comes in. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
full package,
Rubes.
full package in the cot. That's what he calls himself.
Does he?
Ian Rubin, full package.
Does he
in the
now?
cot.
Hey, Rat, just before we get off the embargo subject, in the World Cup final,
Final. Yep.
Geordie Barrett has a kick to win the match. Now, I haven't yet seen the kick,
Yep.
but out of 100 or out of 10, how many times would he get that kick ordinarily?
Oh, I'd say 7,
And how many times would you get that kick?
9.
So it was a 7 out of 10. He missed it.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, look, mate, you know what's unusual, Shug? Like,
Yeah.
and this is what you never associate with New Zealand Rugby Union is average goal kicking. And they had that in this World Cup. Richie Mo'unga missed a conversion after they scored. And then, Geordie Barrett missed that shot at goal late in the game that would have won them the match. So both, if either of those kicks go over, I think if they get ahead, they stay ahead and they win the game, and they miss both of them.
Was that a send off for our man Kane Can you?
Oh,
boy?
mate, I don't think so.
No.
But I mean, in the letter of the law in rugby, it is. But there was no malicious intent or anything.
Just careless.
It was an accident.
So
And I
what's
think they need to sort that out. I mean, you can see if someone's going in there with intent to hurt someone, or you can see if it's not. And they just seem to be, they're just worried about the lawsuits in years
So
to come.
what's the feedback been, guys? And what do you think of the whole rule? If you get 10 minutes, they get to study the contact a little bit more and then can upgrade it.
I like it.
Like it, do you?
Yeah. You, Fletch?
Okay.
I didn't know that was a rule, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
I didn't
rugby,
either,
yeah.
but I like it.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking about the NRL grand final when the ref. Who was the ref? What was his name?
Adam G.
Gee.
Adam G, the G dog. When he just put his, you know how everyone's saying that was the best adjudicated
Yep.
grand final in a long time, and we got the result, and we got the best grand final that I've ever seen.
Yep.
Now,
Me too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I'd agree with that.
I
Just put the whistle on. What? Why? I mean, you got to blow penalties if they're penalties. But,
correct.
But you can find a penalty in every set if you want.
True.
That's right. They had just left it alone.
Yep.
But I enjoyed the second half. I only saw the second half. They played a much entertaining game, the Kiwis.
Well, the Kiwis did, yeah. And that was always the way
South
that they were
Africa's
going to play.
bored. They
South
bore you to
Africa,
death.
yeah, they just try to play the ball down your
It's a
end
bit like
and
speaking to a
bash
South
you.
African. They just bore you to death. How's your day going?
We don't go into Joburg, do we, this show?
Yeah, we do. We go to Helensburg. That'll do. Hey, Rat.
It's just as dangerous in Helensburg as it is in Joburg, I think.
Hey, Scotty.
Yeah.
So if I say these three names, what have they got in common? Matt Rogers, James Magnuson, and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. Private Benjamin movie.
No, you're thinking way too outside the box.
Okay.
This will give you a
we
hint. This will give you a hint.
Oh, conspiracy theorist.
No,
Gotcha.
they
What?
froth on aliens.
Alien,
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so
X-Files.
it was the mid-1960s, and Goldie Hawn, then 20, was working as a dancer in Anaheim. And basically, she was working. She was a little bit tired. She got outside and she said, I remember this so clearly. I went outside my door and I sat on the little ledge and I looked up at the dark sky and I said, I saw all these stars and all I could think of was, how far does this go? How little are we? What does it do? What does it do? And are we the only planet in the whole wide universe? What about this? Months later, she was still working in another dance job, and she had to take a nap. And then she woke up, and she was jolted by the sound of a high-pitched sound, and she saw these 2 or 3 triangular-shaped heads. They were silver in colour, slashed for a mouth, little tiny nose, no ears. They were pointing at me in the car as if they were discussing me. She couldn't move. She was paralysed, and I thought, oh, my God, I want to get up. I don't know if it was real or not real. Eventually, she got up, and, of course, all these things, thinking about all the kids' stuff that we got told, oh, my God, I think I made contact with outer space. So they touched the face. This is her words. It felt like the finger of God. It was the most benevolent, loving feeling. This was powerful. It was filled with light. Rat.
Well, what I'm going to say is...
No, I
if
want
you-
to
if-
ask something. Have you ever been fingered? Have you ever been not fingered? That didn't come out right. Have you ever been?
Embargo.
What I meant to say,
Embargo.
has the finger of God ever touched you?
I have... I will just say this. If you can't believe Goldie Hawn, then who do we believe? If when Goldie Hawn comes out and, at 20...
20.
She would have been back in the 70s, 80s.
And she was dancing. Like,
70s.
what's her
Dancing. I
dancing?
mean, she wouldn't have been under the influence of anything. She would have been totally
Yeah,
lucid back in those days.
Yeah.
Surely
Pole
she's
involved, yeah.
bang on.
But have you ever had an experience? I know you've had a ghost experience. I know you had your cat died at the airport once.
and you got a
Is that
chest
story
like
still finished, by the way? And
Mate, does a tourist just sit back and laugh into a mic? Is that like a sound effect? What?
I want to know, why do you think there's aliens? Have you had an experience, or do you just believe?
He just reads,
I just
Brian.
read a
He
lot.
just reads.
I read a lot. I look at a lot. I watch a lot. I listen to a lot. And I just come to the conclusion
There's
that
something out
there's another life form.
He's open-minded.
And I was checking out those little Mexican aliens that they had in Parliament not that long ago. They look pretty full. They look pretty real.
Yep.
Did
No,
you see that?
I do. I think I'm starting to turn.
Are you?
Oh, come on.
I think so.
Yeah. Well,
been a first
you'll
time.
come around. I mean, look, we're going to find out soon enough, and you don't want to be
We're
the
going
guy
to find out soon enough.
Do you think
Yeah,
the
people are already
It's coming.
texting in
Yeah.
about our segment later on. That's ludicrous, saying that goes way too ludicrous, and they're taking out the trash with that.
But don't you think the ARU should get on the front foot and maybe start interviewing some aliens for the gig? I mean, they'd be good. You wouldn't have to pay them much.
chuck a few of them in the team.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway, boys, don't forget tomorrow too, by the way, True Crime Sports. Crime Tuesday, that's coming up. And still to come up on the show.
Yeah,
What's
no,
your
but I do
no-goes?
that, yeah.
What's your no-go zone on Embargo Monday? Anything else to report, boys?
No, you pretty much covered it. Thanks very much.
Hey, Rat, how'd
idiots.
Samoa go? How'd your prediction with Samoa go?
Oh, mate.
Embargo.
Oh,
Embargo.
Go.
They were good. They look good on paper.
They did, yeah.
Hey, boys, just before you go, because these boys have done a lot of travelling as well, what about that feeling you get when you're on a long-haul plane and your eyes pop open and then you've got that sort of anxiety for 30 seconds where you're tossing and turning, whether to try and go back to sleep or press the button on the flight screen to see how much further you've got to go or how long you've slept.
Is it still dark?
Yeah.
It's still
And
dark.
how bad is it when you hit it and there's still 6
I know.
hours to go?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
know.
load over
10
the top
seconds
the
of your
ocean,
flight.
yeah.
And it,
Were you on
more than-
Bizzo? Were you on Bizzo?
No, I wasn't. I was in the exit row. That was helpful, though. And it just breaks your heart, doesn't it, when it's not
Yeah.
quite where you need it to be?
And you get that rank taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
You get that after eating the bodgy scrambled eggs. And the omelets always.
I didn't eat the food.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah,
What?
I feel
No,
better for it.
Plain food is one of the best.
No.
Oh,
It's outstanding. Plain food is outstanding.
There's
Oh,
a
you need to
model.
get out more.
There's a model. I can't remember her name, but she'd done a lot of travelling, and I asked her once, "What is your best advice for long haul flights?" She said, "Do not eat.
Yep.
And just have water."
CIA agents don't eat and just have water.
Yeah, CIA.
Same thing. What was I going to say there? Yeah, but that's absolutely key.
You can't eat. And you know what they do?
what about beer or wine?
No, I can have a red wine and a Valiant.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah,
But what they
I'm
do,
all over that.
Sats, you know,
Yeah.
they put like stuff in your food
Correct.
that's the total opposite to a laxative.
Yes,
So they want to clog you up because they don't want to overuse the Brasco.
correct.
Well, I don't use it. I'd refuse to go to the toilet on a plane.
What do you do when you eat the food? What do you do? Long haul.
I went from Sydney to Dubai once. No toilet stop. Dubai to London and waited till I got to London.
What about for a Les Kiss?
Gee.
Yeah, same. Won't use it.
What about those people around you when you're dropping your guts and stuff?
No,
Mate,
What if you
got to
busted?
escape somewhere. It's just wind over poo. It's horrible. What did you?
That's in taking out the trash.
Wind?
Good on you, boys. We look forward to the show with the big tease you gave us.
good to hear you guys.
There we go. Scotty Sattler and Matty Rogers, all thanks to Bearshead